big news coming in with respect to the release of the Kerala story. There have been several petitions filed in the Kerala High Court as well as the Supreme Court to stay the release of the film. No such stay will be issued on the part of courts. The High Court now has dismissed the plea on the part of the petitioners. Now, the Supreme Court has also weighed in on this particular matter and talked about the fact that there was a contrived urgency in moving petitions in order to halt the release of the film. Those were the oral observations that have been made by the court. We'll await some more clarity on why the High Court has now decided to dismiss the plea on the part of the petitioners to issue a stay on the film. The Supreme Court earlier had also asked the authorities to approach the requisite authority. They did approach the High Court. In fact, the CBFC by then had already given a certificate for the film. Let me go across to Dharini, who has some more details about this. Dharini, do tell us as to what the High Court actually said while dismissing the plea on the part of the petitioners.
Justices A.D. Jagadish Chandra and C. Saravanan of the Madras High Court have dismissed PIL seeking a ban on the Kerala story film. So this PIL was, was filed by a person in the Madras High Court, and now the justices have dismissed this PIL, telling that they cannot act on assumptions, pre-assumptions. That is the reason that's being provided by the justices. They are telling that they cannot act on assumptions and pre-assumptions, and that the Supreme Court and the Kerala High Court, had already heard this matter. So there is no reason that the Madras High Court should also take this up, and also they cannot act on assumptions and pre-assumptions, is what Justices C. Saravanan and Jagadish Chandra of the Madras High Court have told. So they have refused to, order a ban on the release of this film, that is the Kerala story, that's been making headlines, across the country for several days now. I remember, in the description of the film's, the film story, the director had written that almost 32,000 Hindu Christian women from Kerala, have been converted to Islam and need to join the ISIS terrorist movement. So, a lot of people, including several, human rights and social rights activists, including the government of Kerala, they've been, calling this claim fake, and they're telling that this is a misleading information. Based on this allegation that it's a misleading information, this controversy is becoming, a huge, as days pass by. So now the Madras High Court has also dismissed this plea, seeking a ban on the release of this film. So we'll have to wait and see what is to happen. But for the moment, this plea has been dismissed by the Madras High Court, telling that the justices cannot act on pre-assumptions and assumptions.
Okay, Dharini, so this is of course a separate plea that have been filed in the Madras High Court. There have been pleas filed in the Kerala High Court as well as the Supreme Court. So specific to the Madras High Court decision today, Dharini, who were these petitioners who would approach the court in order to seek a stay on the film?
Well, in the petitioner is that he had been taking all out efforts to prevent the release of the movie ever since filmmaker Vipul Amrutlal Shah released the teaser in November 2002. Also, in fact, this petition was filed by a journalist named B.R. Aravindakshan. So he is a well-known journalist, from the state of Tamil Nadu, and he filed this petition in the Madras High Court. This is a public interest litigation. In the petition, he told that the teaser was released with a statement uncovering the truth that was kept hidden, and it meant that the movie was based on true stories. The journalist in his petition is
okay, Dharini, let me just interrupt you for a moment because we're getting a Congress reaction now. Mr. Rashid Alvi joins us on the phone line. Mr. Alvi, several attempts have been made seeking either to ban or issue a stay on the release of Kerala story. However, those have been dismissed. We'll come back to Mr. Alvi in just a short while, but another setback to those petitioners who are seeking to, in fact, prevent the release of the film Kerala story over its content. Even the Supreme Court weighing in on this matter and talking about the contrived urgency in this matter to seek a stay on the film. We're taking a short break right now. We'll come back with more on